You may know Joey Fatone as a former member of the multi-platinum group NSYNC. These days, he's hard at work as host of Common Knowledge, a new trivia game series on the Game Show Network, which tests people's smarts for a chance to win $10,000. Let's take a look.
You don't need an Ivy League degree to play Common Knowledge.
IKEA was founded in what country? Which of these is one of the Great Lakes? What kind of fish is lox?
But that doesn't mean it's easy. The new game show that asks common, everyday questions everyone should know.
The Swiss Army knife was designed for what?
But do they?
They made it to fight people.
You can kill them with a nail filer.
Common Knowledge, hosted by Joey Fatone. Weeknights at 5:30 starting Monday, January 14th. Only on Game Show Network.
Everyone put your hands together for Joey Fatone.
Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Joey, how's it going?
It's fantastic, you know, excited for this new game show. It's been great. I can't complain, really, you know?
Yeah, and we've gotten to check out some of the show, and it looks like so much fun. What made you want to be a part of this?
You know what? You can't get help but sucked into something like this. I got approached by Game Show Network. They were coming up with a new game show called Common Knowledge, and basically I was like, okay, well, what's the deal? They're like, well, it's everyday questions that everybody should know, and you know, here we go. And I was like, well, what do you mean? They gave me a question. I was like, oh yeah, and then the conversation just started going.
Right.
Meaning in the sense, is it true? Is it not? What is a wives' tale, or is it somebody like my mother said, or I watched it in a movie, stuff like that. So it's funny to watch people really get sucked into this when you start asking these questions because everybody has their own views.
And it's common knowledge. It's things we should know. But after watching it, there's a lot of things I should know that I don't know, like which pit is poisonous to eat, an apricot, an olive, or an avocado.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know. Am I gonna die? You're like saving lives, really.
Yeah. Same thing with like a light bulb. If a light bulb breaks inside, obviously the socket, how do you get it out?
Potato.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Do I get
Not everybody knows.
$10,000?
If you came on the show, yes. Depending. But it's funny because people do not know that answer.
Yeah.
You know, just like we said, it's the common knowledge.
I know all of Henry VIII's 6 wives, but I don't know the hell what either of those questions are.
That's okay.
It's an
That would be used for
apricot
something.
poisonous.
But the show is so fun to watch because it is so engaging for people even watching at home. When I was watching, like, I'm so into it because I want to know the answers. Do you think people will be surprised that how much they know of their common knowledge, or but how surprised how hard these common knowledge questions are?
I think both, because there are times that I don't even know the answers, and I like playing along with the contestants, which I think is great because you're able to kind of be more engaged and not just be like, because like Alex Trebek, gotta love him, but he's always like, oh, Mesopotamia, sorry, that's a wrong answer. Meanwhile, it's like, who the heck knew those answers? But these are ones that are everyday things that people can kind of guess at and kind of throw at each other. And again, like I said, you get people talking, which is a blast. And for me, it's so much fun being engaging, watching them and be like, oh, I know this answer. And inside my head, I'm like, oh, get it right, get it right. And then sometimes I'm like, get it right. And I'm like, oh, I was wrong. It's that kind of thing. So it's a blast.
Yeah, and the show works after a team wins 3 rounds, they have a chance to go to the bonus round and win $10,000, which is a lot of money.
Yes.
That could do a lot for me right now. What's it like hosting, being a part of a show that can, like, change people's lives? Give this to them.
You know, it's fun about this show too. It's not like oh my God, the best part about it is for them is, they get to either pay their bills off or their debt, that kind of things that they can do. Or even sometimes some of these people, they just want to even have a party, or sometimes it's like, because it's either family members, sometimes it's like a Bible study group, or we had a dodgeball team, 3 people on a team that were from a dodgeball team. So they either will get like new jerseys for their dodgeball team, or they'll get new Bibles for their book, so they use it for good things that they do for either their community or themselves as a family.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, that's great. And before this, you announced for Family Feud. You hosted the Singing Bee. You also were a part of the unscripted reality Parents Just Don't Understand. What is, the most fun aspect of being a part of these environments?
I think the people. I think the same thing why I'm sure you guys are doing stuff like this. You like to interview and talk. It's just that whole engaging thing. It's the same thing with the contestants. I love being able to talk to them, get inside, say, hey, what's going on? How are you? And sometimes it throws them off a lot of times because I'll be like, I'll go up to the team. I'm like, all right, cool, kick ass, take names. And they're like, what? Joey Fatone just said that?
Right.
What? So it's one of those things that I'm like, yeah, I go, don't you want to win? Like, yeah, you want to win $10,000? Great. And then I go to the other side, I go, hey, same thing. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you want to beat the other team. That's the name of the game. And it breaks the ice a little bit because some of them are so nervous being on camera. And that's the hardest thing. And I think that's one of my duties and job is to basically have them go, hey, you know what, relax, it's okay.
And answering questions under pressure on camera for money, for a reason. Like, I would cry, break down, sweat, and collapse.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's a lot going on at once.
I have a quick question. Is there a host that you really admire and kind of model yourself after, or inspires you?
You know what? There are so many. I mean, for me, dating my age now, Wink Martindale was a game show, of course, a game show host. You got the guy from Pressure Luck, which is the Whammies, if anybody knows what the Whammies are.
Double whammy.
Exactly. But like, people like Bob Barker, people like Alex Trebek, people like Pat Sajak. Pat Sajak, the interesting thing about him too is he was a weatherman before he did any hosting in that sense. So people always ask me, for me, it was obviously singing, and they saw my personality on Dancing with the Stars. I think that's the same thing with Pat Sajak because they saw him cracking jokes in the weather and stuff like that, and they're like, hey, you could be a good game show host. And I know he even turned it down, and then later on he was like, oh, let me try this thing.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
30 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have to ask NSYNC when you look back. And did we get that wrong? Oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. Never mind, we're good.
No, what about it?
NSYNC, do you know them? I love their hits.
They're good. They're good people. They're good people.
Yeah.
What about them?
When you look back, what's the thing that you miss the most about being in NSYNC on tour?
You know what? It sounds so cheesy, and sometimes, I mean, it's not so much for the missing the performance, and I love doing performing stuff like that, but miss hanging with the guys. I really do. It was fun. It was like that was like our college years, really. During the time I was when I started, I was like 17, 18 years old. Justin was 14, and the oldest was Chris was 24. So obviously, of course, when we get older, there's other things, other family, people get married, people have kids, so it all takes a toll, and everybody kind of separates. So I miss literally hanging out with the fellas because one time we got together, I think it was JC's birthday, all 5 of us were together. And of course, it feels like no time has passed. We're cracking jokes on each other, making fun of each other and calling each other funny names like we always do.
Do you guys have a group chat?
We do. We do have a text message chat. We do more talking on that, but we also have an email that we do because of business. We do a whole bunch of merch stuff that we have, like T-shirts, and we started getting older and classier. We have wine glasses.
Wait, there's wine glasses?
Yeah, we do have wine glasses.
Yeah, I
NSYNC
want
wine
those.
glasses. Yeah, we
Cool.
can get those for you.
Get those.
But it's been fun to do that, and then the text message is just like, hey, every time it's funny because you'll see like Happy New Year, or we'll say, hey, what's up, or they'll send pictures of the kids. Chris's kid every time he's always sending pictures of Nas.
Who sends the most Bitmojis? Or gifts and stuff?
Probably Lance. Lance would say, I get the fist pump.
I could predict that.
Yeah, I get the fist pump, the smiley face, all that stuff.
I love that. You were a part of something so special, and now we've seen, this new wave of boy bands with K-pop. So what are your thoughts on that, and just like how things have changed and how they've kind of stayed the same, really?
Yeah, it's amazing how it's just a cycle. It's like it's a circle of life. It's like Lion King, people. It just evolves, just like when we were doing stuff. And again, it's always funny when you see other people, like for instance, I'm not a type of person to be like, oh, well, K-pop is so stupid. It's not. That's not my generation or my what's going on now, and which is probably popular now. For me, back in the day, it was more of big, huge performances, a cappella, breakdown vocals and certain things. And I think maybe for K-pop or for other groups, certain ones are different like that. It's more performance-wise, showing and stuff like that. It's all different. I think it's all great no matter what you think about it in a sense. Some of the group names are interesting to me, but hey, so's NSYNC, so what are you going to say? But I welcome it, I think, because you know why? It still keeps us in mind.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything as far as NSYNC is concerned, but yet we still get mentioned. Our name is still popping up there. You got New Kids on the Block that are on tour. You got Backstreet Boys going back on tour, and they had a residency in Vegas, which is great. We haven't done anything, but yet our name is still out there, which is amazing. So hopefully maybe one day. I say never, because I know the next question is when are we getting back together? But I think it's like never say never kind of thing. I think it's always that kind of thing where I think all 5 of us have to get together and ask the question, do we want to do it or not?
Yeah. Well, I know your fans are praying that happens. But in the meantime, we do have the dance moves that you left us, so K-pop still can't quite match.
That hurts.
And get NSYNC on Common Knowledge?
I'd love to. That'd be fun.
And who do you think would be the best out of you guys?
I kept saying, I think Chris. They've asked me this. Yeah, because me and Chris actually did Family Feud. We were actually on Family Feud with a celebrity boy band-ish. We had one of the guys from Boyz II Men. We had Nate. We had Nick from 98 Degrees. Myself and Chris, and we won.
Right.
So, and Chris was the one to take it home. So I know he's pretty knowledgeable about some stuff, especially common knowledge. So I think he'd be the man to do it.
That'd be awesome.
Well, we'll be watching either way. Joey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it.